Hello, whedonfreak976, my tagget here, the old truth teller with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This one's about guns. What has guns brought us? Well, the assassination of Martin Luther King, assassination of John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln. Some of our greatest figures in history were killed with a bullet. Gun owners always say, well, they would have been killed somewhere else, somehow else, if there had been no scope rifle, then how would Lee Harvey Oswald have killed Kennedy? If a gun had not been invented, that man wouldn't have been able to kill Kennedy like that, or Dr. King. But the thing is, they're around. And am I for the Second Amendment? If you are a person who wants to hunt or protect your home with a handgun, a pistol, a rifle, or something like that, then I really don't have a problem with that. It is when they took the Brady Bill out that I have a problem with guns, the semi-automatics, the fully automatics. A lot of these guns are legal now, and anyone can walk into a store without a background check and buy them. Just ask Jared Lee Loughner. Here we go. According to Just Facts, how many people own guns? Households with guns, 40 to 45%, 43 to 57, 47 to 53 million Americans. Households with a gun. Adults owning a gun, that would be 30 to 34%, 70 to 80 million. And households, adults owning a handgun, 17 to 19%, 40 to 45 million. Okay, now, how many households own a gun? It says roughly 42%. Individuals, 30%. Male, 47%. Female, 13%. White, 33%. Non-white, 18%. Yeah, you know those old racial things about, oh, it's blacks and dragoons and everything. Nope, it's whites who own majority of the guns of all the races. Republican, 41%. Independent, 27%. Democrat, 23%. Now, what do you use your gun for? Why? Everybody's like, why hunting should be, or defending your home. And hunting should be second. If you said protecting your home was first, you were correct. 67%. Now, the reason the percentages are so high is because people gave more than one answer, okay? But, what was second? Target shooting. Just for the fun of it. 66%. Only 41% used them for hunting. How about this for more statistics? You want to talk about how many Americans will be involved? Nearly half of our population, 42% of Americans will be the victim of a completed violent crime, assault, robbery, rape, in the course of their lives. 83% of Americans will be the victim of an attempted or completed violent crime. And 52% of Americans will be the victim of an attempted or completed crime more than once. Again, this is from Just Facts. Wow. And listen to this. At least 67%, according to 2002 Justice Department, 111 felons released from prison, had at least a 67% had been arrested for committing a new offense, and 21% had been arrested for committing a new violent offense. Wow. That's unbelievable. Makes you wonder about what is it about America? And I know other countries are violent too. But particularly, and I love my country. I love it so much. I'm so patriotic. But a real patriot will criticize his country when he needs. What is it with this obsession with guns? I hate this argument that guns don't kill people. People kill people. Well, then what did Jared Lee Loughner pull? What did he have when he shot Christina Taylor Greene, a 9-year-old girl? It was a gun. A semi-automatic gun with 33-round clip There is no need for that. The idiot shouldn't, but there's no background checks in Arizona at all. The idiot shouldn't have been able to buy a gun, which I'm coming up with some new stuff here. According to, I'm putting up some links. So according to one of those links, I'm putting up all three. I think it's, I forget the name of it. I can't pronounce it. 30,000 Americans die every year because of a handgun, violence, or any gun. 60,000 are injured. You're more likely to hurt or injure someone you know than someone you don't, an intruder invading your home. 69% of homicides are committed with a gun. The leading cause, guns are the leading cause of death between people between the ages of 1 and 44. Healthcare costs $2.3 billion, and healthcare costs every year that have nothing to do with sickness or anything comes out of the pocket because of gun violence, because of gun accidents, because of, you know, all of this. 270 million firearms have been sold. 90 million for 100 million citizens. And this is from the Huffington Post now, about gun control and why we should need it. And hey, Mr. Obama, where are you on this? I'm calling you out, Mr. President, for all the good things you've done, and you've done a lot of good stuff. I know a lot of my friends like getting on you, but you have done some good stuff. But you haven't done enough, I don't think. You need to fight more. Taking a step on the stand on the Republicans' budget seems to be a step in the right direction, but sir, gun control, and the Democrats as well, that's why I'm a socialist now, you guys seem to be cowering on this. Well, listen to these numbers from the Huffington Post. 90% of Americans and gun owners, both broken up into two categories, support fixing gaps in government database to prevent the mentally ill, drug abusers, and yada 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 from obtaining a gun. 91% Americans, 93% gun owners support sharing information about criminal and terrorists from buying guns. 89% of Americans, 89% of gun owners to support full background checks. Full background checks. 86% of Americans and 81% of gun owners support people to pass background checks. Support it. They support it. It was a Gallup poll, and the Huffington Post published it. That's one of my links that I'll be putting up. It's showing that the large majority of Americans want the Brady Bill back. I think that a CBS poll showed a while back that nearly 56 to 60% of Americans want stricter gun laws. They do not want these lax gun laws. And listen to this. According to the Huffington Post again, you know how many crimes in New York City were committed, folks, during the 80s in 1 year of violent murders? Over 2,360 a year. Ever since the Brady Bill was passed, and it's still in today in New York City, that went down from 2,360 to 580. So, we don't need the Brady Bill, right? There's been similar instances, but I named New York because New York used to be the #1 city, place for crime, violent gun crimes. Not now. Oh, and another thing that's just so lovely about our wonderful GOP, big, rich, fatty, warbuck, gun-obsessed military government. Iraq. How did they get all their weapons? They just didn't pop out of nowhere. Remember the Iraq-Iran war back in the 80s? Ronnie Reagan and Oliver North and all them. Yes, listen to this. Another one that I'm going to put up. May 2nd, 1986. I think it's from commondreams.org. The U.S. sold biological weapons, Bacillus anthracis, anthrax. We sold anthrax to Iraq. One batch of Salmonella and E. coli shipped to Iraqi State Company of Drug Industries, August 31st, 1987. From January 1985 to August 1990, the government approved 771 different export licenses for sale, of dual-use technology to Iraq, meaning biological, chemical, and weapons, stashes, and missiles. We sold 771 different exports. Was Ronald Reagan a terrorist sympathizer? He gave weapons to Saddam Hussein. That is something to really be proud of, neocons. And over in this country, ever since that law has been overturned by good old Bushy, gun violence goes up. What kind of a country do you want to be, America? A country with less violence and more stability? Or an out-of-control country with a bunch of loons running around with guns shooting each other? You know what that is. The truth.